alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, xi, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon, phi, chi, psi, omega. All right, I know this isn't a video about the alphabet, but the alphabet is so important that I intend to review it each week for a few weeks until we have it down. In fact, I would love it if you could get so smooth with the alphabet that you could do it in a single breath, like this. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, xi, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon, phi, chi, psi, omega. And see, I still have breath left over. So anyway, I work on the alphabet. But today, we talk about vowels. Now everyone knows what vowels are, right? A, E, I, O, U. Those are the vowels. Well, Greek vowels are very similar, but try to imagine a language without vowels. The fact is you can't. Take a simple sentence like, God loves the world, and say it without vowels. The point is you can't, okay? Vowels are like the oil that makes a language flow. And Greek is a very vowel-rich language. In fact, it's a beautiful language because it has so many vowel sounds. Allow me to read John 3:16 for you in Greek. Now, I know you can't understand this right now. Never fear, you will soon. But just listen for now to the beauty of the language. Houtos gar agapesin hathaas tan kasman. Hosta tan huian tan monogene eroken. Hina pas hapistion es auton. Me apaletai. Al eche zoen ionion. I just love the language. I think it's a beautiful language. In fact, Greeks called people who spoke any other language barbarians because to them, other languages sounded like bar, 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 bar. It was kind of a shot at their language. Nothing like the beautiful Greek tongue. Well, obviously, it's important to know the vowels. And we'll see that Greek has lots of use of vowels. And we also need to learn something called diphthongs. Yes, I did say diphthongs. My kids always think I'm making fun of somebody. You're a diphthong or something like that. But no, a diphthong is simply two vowels that go together to make a single sound. So we'll need to learn the diphthongs as well as the vowels today. So meet the Greek vowel. As you can see, it's very similar to the English vowel. A, E, I, O, U, of course. In Greek, it would be alpha, epsilon, iota, omicron, upsilon. 5 English vowels, 5 Greek vowels. But what are these two oddballs doing hanging on? Well, the eta and the omega can be thought of as like a lengthened alpha and a lengthened omicron. In English, the A can sound like A or A. Well, in Greek, we have 2 symbols for those sounds, alpha and eta. And similarly, in English, the O could be O or A. Well, in Greek, we have 2 symbols for those sounds, A and O. So the Greek vowels are really pretty simple. Here are the Greek diphthongs. Now, diphthongs, again, are just 2 vowels that go together to make a single sound. And they are I, A, Oi, Ow, Oo, We, U. You'll notice that U may be spelled epsilon upsilon or eta upsilon. The sound is the same. So there basically are 7 diphthongs, just like there are 7 vowels. Very important to learn to recognize these because when you see these letters together, you'll know that's not 2 different syllables, that's just one because those make a single sound. Okay, so the I sort of corresponds to the A in English. A, like the E. Oi, well, doesn't really correspond to the I. Ow, not really to the O. Oo, sort of to the U. So you can see my mnemonic device here is a little weak. But for some reason, this is easy for me to remember. I, A, Oi, Ow, Oo. I, A, Oi, Ow, Oo. Say that with me if you would. I, A, Oi, Ow, Oo, and then we and you. That's how I remember these 2, we and you. We and you are not as common as these 5 here. I, A, Oi, Ow, Oo. And I don't know, for some reason that reminds me of A, E, I, O, U. If that doesn't help you, just remember I, A, Oi, Ow, Oo. Are you getting tired of me saying that? Here are the diphthongs with some words here. Iro means I rise. A means if. Oikia means house. Autas means he, she, or it. Ude means and not. Huios means sun. Euthus means immediately. Yuxanin means it grows. So, Iro, A, Oikia, Autas, Ude, Huios, Euthus, Yuxan. Okay, the point is you need to be able to recognize these letters as a single vowel sound, okay? One more time. I, A, Oi, Ow, Oo, We, You. Are diphthongs making you angry? Don't let them. Think about English. We have diphthongs in English as well, and they aren't nearly as consistent as Greek diphthongs. Think about the words ate, height, and the girl's name Lee. The diphthong is EI in English, and notice that in ate it sounds like A, in height it sounds like I, height, and in Lee it sounds like E. So is it A, I, or E? It's all over the map. Greek, at least, is consistent. There aren't that many diphthongs, and they are consistent, so we just have to learn the few that there are. Now, let's talk about improper diphthongs. Now, the word diphthong sounds inappropriate enough, and improper diphthong, well, that sounds downright scandalous, doesn't it? Actually, it's not. A diphthong, remember, is just two letters that make a single vowel sound. And in this case, the two letters are, for example, here, an alpha and an iota. But what happened to the iota? It slid underneath the letter. It hides under there, if you want to think of it that way, and it is not pronounced. So in other words, this would be pronounced ah. Here's an eta with an iota underneath, and it would simply be pronounced a. Here's an omega with an iota hiding underneath there. That would be pronounced o, just like an omega. The only place you'll see these iotas is under these three letters, alpha, eta, and omega. And they make a difference when it comes to translation, but they don't make any difference at all when it comes to pronunciation. Now we need to talk about syllabification. And why we need to use these giant words, I don't know. Syllabification is simply breaking words into syllables. And a syllable is simply a sound that goes together with another sound to make a word, okay? So for example, in English, we have the word but. I love to eat ice cream, but it makes me fat. Okay, we know the word but. If we take another sound, ter, and we put butter, we come up with butter. Two syllables, which make a completely different word. Of course, butter will make you fat as well. Add another syllable, fly, and we come up with butterfly, another totally different word, obviously, okay? So that's what syllables are. Now in Greek, dividing words into syllables is very simple. The rule is one syllable per vowel or diphthong. So all you have to know how many syllables there are in a word is to count the vowels and diphthongs. So let's practice that a bit. Take out your little Greek grammar and let me just talk you through how we divide some of these words into syllables. Notice I've put the vowels in red, so this would be a 3-syllable word. And we would divide this between the consonants somewhere. So in this case, it would be anthropos. Anthropos. It means man. By the way, I'll just say right now that you'll notice that the syllable that has the accent over it will get the emphasis. Okay, so it's anthropos. Well, let's look at maybe a little bit easier one here. Apa. Apa. 2 vowels, so 2 syllables. A-pa. Notice here that in general, we try to put the consonant with the vowel that follows. So it's not op, ah, but a-pa. Now, in reality, that doesn't even matter because when you put it together, however you do it, it's going to sound like a pa. So that's really not that important. I put a footnote in about that if you're interested. Let's look at another interesting one here. Ginomai. Notice 3 vowels, iota, omicron, and a what? I notice I put these in bold and underlined it to make it easy. A diphthong, right? I. So this is not gin o ma and then like this, gin o ma e. It's ginomai, a 3-syllable word because there are 3 vowels. Ge, na, mai. Notice again that the consonant goes with the letter that follows if possible. Here's an interesting one. Dia. Dia. Notice here that this is not a diphthong. Alpha iota is a diphthong. Iota alpha is not. So this is 2 separate syllables. Di-a. Dia. But now here's an example of a word that is alpha iota, which is a diphthong. So this is just 1 syllable. Kai. Kai. How about this one? I'll bet you know, right? 2 syllables because there are 2 vowels. E, go. Take a look at Amy. Very common verb here. Amy. How many syllables here? Well, A is a diphthong, right? So it's a, me. All right? Let's look at a little longer word here. Erchamai. Er-cha-mai. So there are 3 vowel sounds, 3 syllables. Er-cha-mai. Get the hang of this? It's not really too awful, is it? Lego. Le-go, right? 2 vowels, 2 syllables. Okay? Here's one with kind of a lot of vowels all stuck together here. Poi, e, o. Notice that oi is a diphthong, so this is poi, e. Oops, I did this wrong. This should actually be colored red, like this. So I did this wrong. This should be red. Forgive me. It's probably already fixed in your book by now, but I just noticed I made that mistake. It's easy to do that because the vowels, look at this word. It's 1 consonant and 3 vowel sounds, 3 syllables. This is typical of Greek. I told you that it's a very vowel-rich language. Poieo, poieo. It's pretty. It doesn't have all those guttural sounds like English or German or something like that. How about adelphos? Here we have 3 vowel sounds. A, del, phos. Okay, now why did I put the lambda with the epsilon there? Well, again, that's not that important, but the reason is because there are no words that start with oof, oof. It doesn't work together, okay? So if the consonants don't work together, if they can't make a single sound comfortably, that's why they're divided. So a, del, phos. And we're just about done here, the final one. Allah. Allah. Notice 2 vowels, 2 syllables. And when we have a double letter, we always divide in between the double letter. Allah. But again, it doesn't matter. If you had pronounced this one like all, ah, well, it would still sound the same when you put it together, right? Allah, Allah. So let's not worry too much about this, but that's the rules in case you want to know. Punctuation in Greek is a lot like English. A period in Greek is the same as a period in English. Isn't that handy? A comma in Greek is a comma in English. But when you're reading along in a Greek text and you see what looks to us like a semicolon, in Greek, that's a question mark. So the semicolon in English actually looks like it means it's a question in Greek. And then the other strange little piece of punctuation you'll see is a floating period. It's a period that is floated up above the line a little bit, and that's the Greek equivalent of the English semicolon. So I think of it as sort of like, the period is down on the bottom of the line. It means stop here. The semicolon is sort of floating up above, so it's like, I'm not sure I want to stop here. Let's just pause, okay? So again, period is period, comma is comma. The thing that looks like a semicolon to us is actually a question mark in Greek, and the floating period is a semicolon in Greek. Let's look at a little punctuation in context just for fun. Here's a period, for example. Ego uk eimi ha Christos. I am not the Christ, period. This is John the Baptist telling the Pharisees, hey, I'm not the Christ, okay? And they asked him, comma, we expect that, teun, who then, right? And what do we see here? Question mark, right? Who then? Who are you? And then this su Elias you Elijah are? Are you Elijah? It's a question, see, because there's our strange Greek question mark. And he says, comma, Uk emi, period. I am not. Ha prophetes esu, are you the prophet? No, right? Question. And he answered, comma, no, period. And they said to him, who are you? Again, notice that being able to recognize these things that look like semicolons to us as actually Greek question marks, that's important. Without the punctuation, it's much more difficult to translate. And here is an example of a semicolon. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. Semicolon. And the light is shining in the darkness, and the darkness does not overcome it. Okay, we know the verse, right, from John 1. But notice here we have these two independent clauses separated with a conjunction kai, which is and in English, and a semicolon. So the semicolon is used just like it would be in English. The main thing is just be aware that when you see this strange floating period, you're looking at a semicolon. So, in this lesson, we've reviewed the alphabet. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, xi, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon, phi, he, psi, omega. Okay, get to where you can do that, right? We've looked at the vowels and diphthongs. The vowels are easy, right? Alpha, epsilon, iota, omicron, upsilon, and then we have those long vowels, remember, eta and omega. So those are the 7 Greek vowels. And then the diphthongs, we learned this way. I, a, oi, ow, oo, we, you. I'll say it again. I, a, oi, ow, oo, we, you. Got to learn to see those two as those two letters coming together to make the single sound. That's a diphthong, okay? We've talked about how to divide words into syllables. We've seen how to punctuate sentences. We're really about ready to read some Greek.